Ooh, girl, your eyebrows on fleek. What's up, guys? I'm back with another vlog, and I'm super excited to talk with you guys today about what's been going on with me. Been out of school for the past summer, so y'all know kind of how I roll. I just really like to work on myself and have as much spiritual rejuvenation, personal goals, things of that nature. And this summer, I decided to focus on forgiveness. And so I just wanted to share with you all kind of what that's been looking like for me and just kind of share what I've been doing to work on that. I kind of have been realizing, like in the beginning of summer, just journaling and doing my spiritual time. What am I trying to work on? What areas of my life am I trying to grow in? And for the most part, I really thought that I was a pretty forgiving person. It takes a lot to make me mad. To be honest, I don't think I've ever gotten to a point where I'm extremely mad and I'm like going off or I want to fight or something like that. I just don't think that's in my character. Most times I can brush things off pretty easily. But I recognize that there were some certain relationships in my life, mainly in the past year or two, that I really was just having a hard time getting over. Significant others as well as friendships, just kind of struggling with understanding why a situation ended the way it did, or expecting that person to come back and apologize to me or anything, just because I know how I am as a person. If I do mess up, if I do talk about somebody or whatever the case may be, I'm pretty honest. Like, I'll be like, hey, look, I said it, so I apologize. Can't really take it back. That verbal vomit, I kind of do that a lot, and I've really been trying to work on that, so y'all pray for me. But no, like, for one individual, I just noticed every time that person came around, or I knew I had to see that person, it was like my stomach got real tight. I was real tense. Or when people would mention that person's name, and I'm just like, they really ain't that cute or anything. And I really had to check myself, like, girl, what are you so mad about? Like, it is really not that serious. Especially because the biggest thing is within forgiveness, like, a lot of times what we as individuals may be holding on to, that person is not even thinking about that. They sleeping very well at night. They didn't even forgot that they may have even done something. Most of the time, they don't even know they did something to you. And so really, you can't just hold that on you and allow that to hold you back from moving on. Because, ladies, we have to avoid getting that BBW syndrome, bitter black woman. Any race can have bitter black women. Y'all know who the BBWs are. Basically, them dudes, I ain't nothing. I'm going to go out here and get my own money because they all out here to get me and blase, blase, blase. All that stuff. We all have a friend that's like that, or we know somebody that's like that. And you really got to avoid that. Basically, don't carry what happened in your last situation into the next one, because then you're going to be repeating the same issues. Like, people think if you leave a situation, you leave the issue there. But if you never solve the issue, it's just going to go on to the next situation. So you really have to take the time to see, okay, recognize maybe I have an issue. Maybe I'm really angry with this person. But the biggest thing about forgiveness is not for anybody else but yourself. It's for you to be able to move on in life, reach your goals, get rid of any insecurities you may deal with trust issues that you may have with, whether it's a significant other, friendship, parents, whatever the case may be, because forgiveness is not just strictly to being in a relationship with a boyfriend and he cheat on you or anything like that. There can be several situations where people just struggle with forgiveness. Especially, I've noticed with girls, that could just be a really hard thing. I had to experience that myself. And sometimes you just really have to let stuff go just for the better of everyone. Everybody is not meant to be your best friend or not your boyfriend or your husband. Like, sometimes things don't work out for a reason, and you have to recognize what that reason is, accept it, learn your lesson, and move on. So the biggest thing that I kind of did was first recognize, like, hey, I'm struggling with this individual, or I still have some anger towards this person. Recognize, why am I so angry towards this person? What am I still holding on to? What can I do to let that go? For me, it sounds really cheesy, but I had to write letters. Like, I wrote letters to those individuals, and I just spilled out everything. Like, let me just get it all off my chest. Like, this is how I'm feeling. And within writing those letters, I started to read and see, like, okay, this is what it really is. Like, actually seeing it on paper, like, what has really been bothering me, or whatever case may be. I was just like, all right, okay, I see what the problem is. And then you just gotta release that. Like, you really just have to let it go. Like, let it go. Y'all know it's my song. Shout out to Frozen. Make sure you check it out. But no, release it. Pray about it. Pray over the situation, and pray for your individuals that you may have those issues with. The Bible does say pray for your enemies. So, just pray for them, and that God will work out whatever may be going on with them as well as within you. And also, because a lot of people have problems with that, maybe you need to recognize sometimes what part did I play in it, because most times it does take two people. Like, I'm usually really hard on myself, so I tend to kind of look at myself first before I look at other people. But, there are situations where I probably blame the other person when I could have, took ownership over my actions. So you got to kind of look at all sides of it and release that. Pray about it. God, help me to have a forgiving heart. Allow me to move on from this situation. I don't want to hold on to this anymore. God, allow me not to carry this into the next relationship that I may have with somebody else, or friendships, Lord. Allow me to trust again. Allow me to, just open my eyes to other things, and to just be wise in the decisions that I make. Because the thing about forgiveness, I'm not telling you to forget what somebody may have done to you, but take from those situations that happen and use that wisdom going into the next situation or relationship, friendship, whatever it may be. Because I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned, making mistakes within relationships or friendships. I realize what characteristics I just can't deal with, what things that like trigger me or make me mad or whatever case may be. And I avoid those now, because I know that doesn't work for Dominique. And then my last one is repower. Stop getting so stuck in that person. Start doing new things. Go on dates with yourself. Read the Bible. Yes, read the Bible. But no, just start finding new things for yourself to do. Me, I like to hang out with my girls. I hang out with them pretty much all the time. It seems like I like going to the movies, get involved in your goals, write down your goals, and actually start, reaching those goals and things like that. Biggest thing for girls, if you're having a hard time forgiving a boy and you're trying to move on from him, please do not just jump into another one, because you'll find that when you jump from one relationship to the next, you're still having the same issues because you never handled those. So it's okay to take a couple weeks off and be like, okay, let me figure out what's going on with me, instead of carrying that weight and that baggage to the next person and the next person. And the biggest scripture that I've kind of kept with me is Matthew 6:14-15. It just talks about forgiving others so that God can forgive you. And man, like, super simple, but super hard to do, because I'm human, I be holding stuff in the back of my head like, I remember when you did this in December 1920, you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you just gotta let that go, because at the end of the day, we're humans. We all make mistakes, and thankfully God gives me a chance every single day to wipe that slate clean and try to do better. So why can't I give that to the next individual? I have to move on. I have to realize that they are human. They're trying to learn how to be themselves just as much as I'm trying to learn to be myself. So I can't hold that against them for the rest of their life, because at the end of the day, it's only holding me back. It is not really holding them back in any way. And then another thing is in Romans 12, they talk about overcoming evil with good. And basically it's just like, it's simple. Y'all know how it is. People be like, oh, we're going to have to fight. You're going to have to lay them hands on her, or whatever the case may be. I probably sound real stupid saying that, because y'all know I'm not a fighter. My mama raised me better than that. But you know how it is, especially with this generation. That's how we solve things: subtweeting, take it to social media, running your mouth, gossiping about that individual. And at the end of the day, it doesn't solve anything. It drags it out. Forgive the person, move on with your life. The situation didn't work out, learn from it, and keep it moving. If it's meant to be, God will bring it back together. So yeah, that's what I have to share about forgiveness today. Still pray for me. I'm definitely still working on it. It is a work in progress, but I'm telling y'all, when you learn how to forgive people and truly move on, it can be the best thing that you do, because you just don't like carry that stuff on your shoulders anymore. And you're open to trusting people, and you don't feel like you always have to have your guard up. You just use that wisdom and trust that God will lead you in the right direction. I hope that this helps someone. I love you all so much, and I will talk to you guys next time. Love, y'all.